Hey everyone, tonight's a really big game. It's Barcelona versus PSG in the UEFA Champions League, and this ideally should have been the Champions League final last season, but unfortunately, Barca was beaten by Inter Milan in the semi-finals, and well, we could have had a really great game of football if these two teams had met in the Champions League final of last season, but but it didn't happen. So let's not go into that. So this fixture is a very important fixture, but the problem is the timing of this fixture is it's quite early in the season, so the stakes are not that high. Obviously, it's going to be a really big game because Luis Enrique is coming back to um, not Camp Nou. I think it's being played at the Olympic Stadium. So yeah, but Luis Enrique is coming back to Barcelona, and Dembele has won the Ballon d'Or recently. So I mean, the narratives around these games are quite interesting. And moreover, these two teams have actually been known for their attacking capabilities. And if they play at their full potential, full potential, I think it's going to be a really explosive game of football that we'll be able to see. But the problem is, the game is taking place at a very early stage, at a very early stage in the season. Moreover, the injuries of both these teams will actually impact the quality of the game as well. Like I think most of the important players are out for this games. Like Dembele is out with injury, Scalia is out with injury, Vitinha is out, Rafinha for Barcelona is out. Then Joan Garcia, I think in the previous game he got injured and will be ruled out for this game. And I think John Garcia's injury will also the intensity of injury was such that he'll be ruled out of the El Clasico later in the month as well. Moreover, I think Fermin Lopez is also out with injury. So most of the important players are out, and the game as the game it, if all these players would have been available for the team, I think the game would have been much more better. But doesn't mean that today's game will be any less. I think it's going to be a really great game of football, and I hope so that Barcelona comes on top. Moreover, I think what is important in this game is that it is going to be a battle of the midfields. So whoever is going to control the midfield in this game, I think, will emerge as the eventual winner of this game. So I think in that scenario, I think Barcelona still has a better edge over PSG. I think Pedri is in great form. Dani Olmo will be playing, and Frankie De Jong will be there. And if I'm not wrong, Lamine Yamal is also back from his injury, so Lamine Yamal would also be available. So I think that's it. I feel that if this game would have taken place at a much later stage, I think during the end of these group stage games, or maybe in the semi-finals or the quarter-finals, I think the stakes would have been much more higher, and we would have seen a much better quality of the game. But let's see what happens today, and I'm hoping for a Barcelona win. I think Barcelona will be able to win this game 3-1. Yeah, so these are my predictions for the game. Another game, it's not such a blockbuster game, but since I'm a Manchester City supporter, so I'll also be watching the Manchester City versus Monaco game. I don't think I'll be able to watch that game, but I'll be keeping a close eye on that game as well. And in the last two games, I think City has not in the last two games. Last game against Burnley, I think in the first half, City was quite vulnerable, and they weren't actually playing like the Manchester City we have seen before in the few years back. But in the second half, they did show a very dominant. They did show a very second dominant performance in the second half. So yeah, I think against Arsenal, also City, in the first half, I think City was playing quite well and they were controlling possession. But after scoring the goal, they sort of, you know, they were sitting back, and this is not a very conventional Pep style of football that we're seeing. I think Pep is trying to adapt and trying to learn from all the mistakes that he had made in the previous season. So maybe Pep is evolving again. Pep is trying to change his tactics. So let's see what happens. I think against Monaco, I don't think City should face a really big problem, and City should be able to win this game comfortably. I would predict either 2-0 victory of City or a 3-1 victory for City. So let's see what happens today. But the main, I think all the eyeballs will be on the Barcelona versus PSG game, and let's see what happens. And I hope that we'll be able to witness a great game of football tonight. So let's see what happens.